Good morning, my crafty friends. Not sure who all is on here. I said good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's fine. It's still early for me in the morning as well. I'm not a big morning fan, but here we are. I'm not sure it's raining out near where you are. Good morning, Kim. How are you doing? Got my Let's Get Crafty mug, my favorite weekend mug. And my tea. And life is good. Oops. Good morning, Ellie. Yeah, it is rainy. Oh, I'm happy to be here with you too. Even though we aren't all in person, it's nice to have crafty friends you can craft with. My dog's out there whining because I just told my husband that I was doing a live. Yeah, you can probably hear it. Belle, be quiet. Sorry. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing this. I know what I'm doing, I think. My instructions might be a little on the fly and a little bit jumpy, but yeah, I kind of still feel like we're all hanging out too, so that's kind of nice. Not sure how that is. Or that way, maybe that way better. Yeah. Anyway, so the card I am going to be doing and working on is the Robin Hood card. Let me see if I can get this fixed so we're not so off kilter. So I'm sorry. My pooch is not impressed this morning. Anyway, so this is the card that oh, thanks. It's an old, I've had a bunch of these mats. I use them for, I like using a glass mat, but when I'm doing a live, Ellie, I can't because it's just way too much glare. So anyway, so I have this, and it's got like it's an old close to my heart one, and then on the back it's rubber for stamp or foam stamping. So anyway, let's see what we can do here. Anyway, so the card that I will be doing, I chose Robin Hood, and I was given two pieces of cardstock that were 4x8 to make 2 cards. So I had to use a 4x4 sheet for each of my cards. And that's why I made the smaller size card. So, but the instructions that I have done up for the group, I have this size card, and I also have how to enlarge it too. So this is the card that I've chosen to make. It's called a side accordion panel card. Directions I found off the internet. I am not that brilliant. And anyway, so it actually converts pretty good to a card that's about 4 1/4 by 4 inches. And yeah, it's pretty easy. And I just thought that with him having that arrow, it's almost like he shoots the arrow and it kind of goes, you know, playing, you're right on target. This is a die that I have from one of the Crop and Create classes. I may as well use it someplace. Crop and Create or Let's Stamp Together, whatever card classes. And you can use whatever you want. Other than that, it's pretty simple. Directions are set up. Directions are written down that I will post in the group afterwards. And yeah. So I think I'm just going to get started. Anyway, so here's my directions for the card group. What I did is someplace, okay, I have a bone folder someplace. But anyway, so this is a piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11 because of the size of card that I had. But if you were going to make a full-size card, you can make 5 1/2 by 11 and follow the same score line measurements for this. So, my first, put this up here. The first score line measurement I'm going to make is at 1 3/4. So 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. I'm going to get rid of my folder. Well, get rid of this one now in a sec. And I will fold it this way. So we're going to do this, and this, and this, and this. So an accordion fold. And just fold it up this way. And that's our card base. Okay. And then for the inside flap, which is this here, I needed a 3 by 6 panel. So a 3 by 6 panel that I will score at 3 inches. So 3 by 6, and it scores at 3 inches, sorry. And that gives me that 1/2 inch, that little card fold panel. Words are hard this morning for my stamp set, or I should say for my card. I should have had coffee instead of tea. Anyway, so that'll give me that little panel for in here. Alrighty. All right. I will not put anything together. Not yet. So that's how this is going to go together. You see like this? All right. So my panel is done. My card base is done. My patterned paper. So the back piece, I used the brown here to fit the entire back panel. So height and width is okay. I just needed to trim off a little tiny piece, which is 3 3/4 wide by 4 inches high. But if you're doing it with a bigger piece, you'd have 5 1/4 by 4, I believe. Paper trimmer. I have no idea where stuff is this morning. And I apologize if some of my stuff's off camera. Like I said, my craft room is a little bit disastrous. Okay, so that's my back panel with my cardstock. Easy peasy. And I'm going to work on the green. So the trick to the green is the fact that I only had a 4-inch wide piece. So I MacGyvered it a little bit so that it would fit my card. So what I did is I cut my first piece at this section here to measure that section. So it needed to be, this section is, as you can see, it is, boy, I'm really out to lunch today, so I'm really sorry. 1 3/4 So I measured it at 1.5, okay? I have all this written down. So the inside piece, 1.5 by 4. So the height is correct. I just measured 1.5. So I should be measuring 1.5 inches for all of my pieces to go all on the inside. So I should have a 3-inch piece for across here, but I don't. I have 2 and 2.5 inches. So all that I did is I measured 1.25. It's a little bit shorter than it should be in the perfect world. And hi Sherry, good morning. So when I measured this, so I just put this piece in closer to the edges because no one's going to see that back fold anyway, right? And I don't think when you send this card to anybody, they're going to be noticing it anyway, right? See, just like that. So to get rid of some of the pieces and to show you what I am doing, I am going to assemble this part of the card. So, like I said, there. Got a little bit longer of a piece here, a little bit narrower. And this one goes here. And they will be hidden in the fold. And the whole 1.5 inch piece will go right here. See? So when you fold it, and it's folded like that, no one's going to know the difference, in my mind. And I'll put this back piece on just to get rid of it. Not to get rid of it, but to neaten up my workspace. A little less confusion, because goodness knows I don't need that this morning. There. So there's all my pattern pieces, all cut, all ready to go. All I'm waiting now is to do my inside panel and my white section here, okay? Alrighty. I'm going to use my, for this piece here, I used Sandy Shores ink. So this piece here measures, it's a white piece. It measures 3 by 3, or pardon me, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I have my piece right here, pre-cut. I should have measured. It's not measured anyway, it doesn't matter. Right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wood grain stencil. There. I'm going to use the wood grain stencil to give me this background to it. You can also, if you'd like, use you can use paste or anything else that you want to put through it. Yeah, so this should be a little bit narrower. I'm sorry. 3 by 3. Yeah. I had to do, like I said, I had to do some changing of measurements for this card, so that's why it's a little bit off. There we go. All right, there we go. And I wanted to give it a border around the edges, and I've seen that Melanie, when she paints, she puts this on, so I thought I would try this, and it worked pretty good. And it also helps hold my stencil down. So all I did was just do it, eyeballed it, just give it a little bit of an edge. There. There we go. So does anybody have any plans for the weekend? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Kim. So Kim just put the stencil, the wood grain stencil on this weekend. If you don't have it, it is absolutely a necessity. You never know, it might be used next weekend. It's great for using for all kinds of different ideas or different man style event or man style cards, scrapbook pages, etc. And outdoors, awesome. Alrighty. So here is my wood grain stencil. I'm only going to lightly brush some ink on there. I'm using Sandy Shores. I love this color. It is such a good color for age distressing, for the basic color for anything, like for a lot of stuff that I do with outdoors. It's a great color. Alrighty, so I just used a little tiny bit here. Very light over top. And I just went up and down and back and forth. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. See, that's pretty good there. Whoops. See what it looks like. Yeah. I think I'm going to go back and use it a little bit more. Put my stencil back where it belongs. Oops. Yeah, like I said, I've had better crafty days, so really am sorry. That should be okay. And then I'll just go over top of it very, very lightly. I find that no two cards are ever the same when I make them. I'm sure you all feel the same. And I'm just going to go and give it a little bit more color so it's not so, what's the word I'm looking for? Not so stark white. There. That'll work for me. And I'll just pull this off, and I have my nice little white edge. Here. Yeah, this stencil is a good basic stencil to have in your stash. And you'll find you'll be reaching out for it over and over again. So that's what I use for here. And while I am working on it, I'm going to do, I have my ink out. I'm going to use the other 3x3 panel to put it for my back. And what I did is I just inked just around the edges, just to give it that bit of a distress sort of look. You can do as little or as much as you want. And I think that looks pretty good. And I used a piece of the washi tape. Whatever piece works for you, whatever piece you like. I use this one. Oops. I tried not to get red writing in here because it was more of a Robin Hood theme. Morning, how are you? No. As I say, yeah, it's not a wash day for me, is it? There we go. Okay, so this all right, so that'll be mine. I just have to stamp the sentiment on the inside that I can do afterwards or at the end. So that's done. That's done. My stencil's done. I will clean that up later. Now it's on to Robin Hood. Now I have the list of colors that I used, Copic colors. I listed them on the sheet as well. And I will also put them watching from bed. Oh, how nice. Alrighty. So here's my list. I'm going to try and bring it down a little bit. Is that better there? Oops. Sorry about the... Is that okay or is that too low? Is that okay there? Hopefully I can get my markers in there. Alrighty. So, all I'm going to do is color up my Robin Hood pretty simply. And then when it's done, I ran a little bit of Sandy Shores ink around it as well. Perfect. Great. Alrighty. So I'm going to bring this down here. How's that? Man, as my grandson would say, my hands look huge. Anyway, so I'm going to use G99 and G94 and YG 63. Yeah, that's not E. YG 63 for Robin's outfit. Okay. So a while ago when I did this one, so I'm using G99, which is an olivish green. And I gotta change my specs. Okay, so I'm going to start off with his boots. And what's the weather your way? Belleville area, it's raining and miserable. Definitely a good day to be in the craft. Not a great day otherwise. I'm going to work on projects this weekend. G94. And while I'm working on projects, I'm going to be watching the other two designers. Oh, yes, I remember that movie, Kim, the Robin Hood with Kevin Costner. I think it's one of my husband's favorite movies, that and the movie that Dances with Wolves. It's like, I'm sorry, but can't handle that movie. Robin Hood? Oh, yeah. Alrighty. So I have his boots done. I'm going to go and do his hat. And I basically followed the same color combo for everything. G99 for the dark shadows. Yeah, this is kind of the best Robin Hood. Yeah, he was pretty good. G99, G94. Blend it all. Hi, morning, Linda. YG63. Yeah, the good thing about all this is we can have them recorded, and they'll go onto the YouTube station or Kim's YouTube channel, which I'm going to try and sort out today. There was too many words to look at it yesterday. I'm just a little overwhelmed, so we're getting there. There. And they'll all be in one spot that you can watch forever and ever. Anyway. Sometimes find when I'm doing a live, I might come back and realize I've missed pieces afterwards. I think that's okay. Alrighty, so now I get to do his tunic, I guess, for lack of a better word. Whoops, don't want to use that. So about to 99. And I sometimes find that I never do everything the exact same, like I said anyways, so. Has anyone done any gardening yet? I was thinking about it, but I don't mind doing a little bit, but we do have a fair bit of space out here, got an acre and a half. I've got a few small gardens. I just don't want to do tons of them, so. Our other house, we had lots of gardens in it. I miss it. My knee didn't miss it the year we moved, so. Just trying to do in a few little bits of shadows. And 94. Not a gardener? Yeah, I enjoy it. I spent hours and hours and months and years working on the garden that we had in the other house. And the people that bought the house, we had a big pond in the back and all kinds of stuff. And the year that they bought it, I guess about 4 or 5 months in, one of my neighbors said that the people dug it all under. So it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a disappointment. But I enjoyed it while we were there. My daughter had her wedding pictures taken in the backyard. So yeah, we have some memory of it. Oh, it sure was. I had one of my neighbors, one of our old neighbors, who said how saddened they were, but it was a young couple that bought the house, and it was a lot of work, so they didn't want their dog getting into the pond, and yeah, so they plowed it all under. Alrighty. Anyway, and we're still working on the tunic, doing the different pieces. Oops, G99. Into G94. Alrighty, well, that's good. 93. Yeah, I looked at the YouTube yesterday, I guess, after I got home, and I thought, I need some time to sit and concentrate, so that's a project for today. My in-house computer guy doesn't live with us anymore. My son has moved out. Well, he should have. He's got his own family now, so when he comes home, we keep him busy. Alrighty, so my greens are done. His tunic is done, all that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the boots and the belt. And I thought that the boots and the belt would be like in a dark, like kind of leather sort of thing. So I used E49, E47, and E44. So I used E49 for the belt and the boots. Yes, I saw that. I did see the step-by-step instructions. Like I said, I was a little overwhelmed last night, so I'll get them. I'll look at them today. So I'm just a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Confused? Not confused, just overwhelmed, I think. E44. I appreciate it though, Kim. I really do. Alrighty, so belt and the boots. E49. E49. E47, which is this one. I can hear something. And E44. Alrighty. Just blend it all out with the E44. I trust everyone had a nice Easter last weekend. The weather was beautiful on the Sunday. We have a lovely neighbor here who has some horses. So my grandkids, we all got to go visit the horses. And the kids got to go on horseback for a nice change too. So that was really nice for them. For all of us, got great picture opportunity. E59 and E27. This is what I did, the trim on his clothes, E59. Yeah, so the weather was just perfect for all that, so I really enjoyed that. Great to see everyone. My computer guy was here. And I got some computer issues taken care of, so that was good. Some of these little tiny spots I don't shade. I mean, maybe I should, but I don't. Yeah, the kids were just thrilled with the horseback riding. Even my little Mississauga granddaughters were just thrilled with it too, so. And I think that's good. I think that's okay. And then I'm just going to put E27. I don't think it really matters. These are just colors that I use. I don't think it really matters. You can make all the browns the same color if you want to. It just, I like playing with them. Just a bit of a change. Anyway, dog's quiet. She must either be outside or my hubby's got her. Alrighty. I think I'll just fill these in too. Pardon me, E57. '27. And I do admit, sometimes it's just nice to color and not have to worry about anything. 57, 23, 21. Kind of gets your mind off of stuff. No wonder we used to do this when we were kids, right? It's relaxing. E57 for the pants. Excuse me. E23. E21. Need a little more E23. There we go. Now, the feather in his cap, I used E09. Okay. Ba-dum-ba-dum. For the bow, this thing here, I used E39. Oh, excuse me. E39. And E15. I really like this crafty comeback. There we go. Arrow, I use my cool C4 and C3. My cool grays. C4 and 3. Make sure that we can see it here. C4. And C3. And skin, I used, for him, I used E21 for my shadows. Whoops, sorry. Oh, he's going to need hair too, isn't he? And then E11. And then he's a little bit of an outdoors guy, so you probably have a little more color. In my and then E01. E04. Whoops, sorry for the tongue. Just a dab. And a dab in there. And then I'm going to use E00 just to give it all a bit of a blend. Alrighty. And I'm going to do a little R20 just for a little bit of a cheek on one side. And for his hair, I figured E8, and I just, I didn't really do any shading because it's just a little tiny sprigs. Sorry about that, no earthquake. Thank you very much, Kim. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it's very relaxing watching somebody else. It's not... Having someone watch you is kind of like, Alrighty, I think that pretty well covers it all. Oops, I missed a spot. The bow. E15, if I can find it. There. Oops, missed his other hand, didn't I? 11. Go 1. Alrighty. So then I just added a little bit of a shadow along the bottom. So when I cut the section out, I'll have a grounded shadow for him. And I just use my N1 and N2. You can use whatever you want. So, like going beyond. Excuse me, I got froggies in my throat this morning. Oh, Ellie, you know what? It just takes practice. It's really not as daunting. I've only been doing this for, I don't know how many years. When was COVID? 4 years? 4 or 5 years ago? When I first found Kraftin Kimmie. And here we are. I've got a dream job and everything else. So 2 3/4. So I'm going to measure 2 3/4-ish. Two and 3/4. Or a little more. And I'll just make sure that this is the right size for my square. That looks pretty good. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, that'll work. And then what I did, just for me, is I just went around the white edges with the Sandy Shores and just a little tiny bit on the edges where the gray is. Oops. Oh well. Alrighty. So that kind of gives it the look of, I don't know, vintage or anyways. So what I'm going to do is I will attach my, oh, pardon me. And as you can see, it all comes through here in the back. Well, sorry. I will attach this to here. And then on the other side, I will attach this. To here. Okay, so if you want to, you can put another piece of paper in there. You don't have to stencil. You can put a die cut. You can put another word over top of it. Just whatever you like, whatever is good for you. And somewhere I put my stamp in a safe spot. So what I will do, okay, I don't know where my stamp is right now. I've had a bit of a chaotic couple of months. I will find it, and I will put it on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to attach my piece here. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. How's that? Whoopsies. I almost lost you. Is that better? How's that? There we go. A little bit of glue around here. All right, so you're going to attach this flap to here on the front part of your card and this back flap onto the back part. But you don't want, so all I did with mine is I attached it like this. So the edge part was, so it was sort of centered here. I just closed my card like that. It really is that easy, okay? Yeah. And then when it opens up, this is what you get. Okay? And then when you go, I'm going to attach my my sentiment part afterwards. But when you want to attach this back part, you're going to do this. So just make sure it's sort of covered or covered enough. There. Okay. And then you attach it after your sentiment or before your sentiment. If you don't want a sentiment on, you just attach it. So I will attach it, pretend my sentiment is on there. Oh, Sherry, that's very kind. Thank you. Yeah, I do like changing them up a little. Oh, Heather. Alrighty, so here we go. That's what I did. I matched it in the back. There. And there you go. Robin Hood. Once Upon a Time. Side accordion all done. And then make sure when you're done, you make sure that you always sign the back of your card. Stamp the back of your card. It's your artwork. You've made a wonderful card. You should be very proud of what you've created. And another important thing is send it to somebody that'll appreciate it. Okay? And that's it. All the best and enjoy the rest of the day. And I'll talk to you. I'll be on live next week too, showing you something very special. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Happy crafting. Bye for now.